There's no denying that great drums are essential to boom bap. Drum loops are a great starting point, but adding additional layers ensures that your beat remains interesting. If you've struggled with layering on top of drum loops, this video is for you. It's your boy Mejia Made, and after today's video, you'll be able to take a boring drum loop and transform it into something more unique.
It's Mejia Made.
Alright y'all, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna first start off with the original drum loop. It sounds like this. So with this original drum loop, it has a lot of really good elements. I really like the background percussion and the snare as well. I'm not a huge fan of the kick, but that's okay because with layering, we're able to solve that problem. As you guys can tell though by the title of the drum loop, it did start off at 87 BPM, but I wanted the drums to move a little bit faster, so I set the project tempo to 90 BPM. So now we have the foundation straight, but now it's time to completely transform this drum loop. Let's go ahead and listen to the finished product, and then I'll break it down layer by layer. So what I want you guys to listen for is that the foundation, that original drum loop, is still in there. What you want to achieve with drum layering is getting your drum loop to a point of becoming more unique and dynamic. What do I mean by that? In terms of the whole beat, you want to be able to take elements in and out in order to make your beat more interesting. Without layering, it would be really difficult to do that with just a drum loop. By the way, the reason I'm making this video is because a client of mine asked me how he can make his drum loops more interesting. If you've been looking for one-on-one mentorship, I am looking for one more spot to fill in. So if you want to completely upgrade your boom bap production, either shoot me an email or hit my DM. With that said, we're going to start off with the first layer, which is a kick drum. This kick drum is a little bit more modern, but punchy. I really like the rim shot within the drum loop, but I wanted that snare, clap, offset type of feel. I was able to achieve that by adding 3 additional layers, but rather than going one by one, we're gonna listen to all 3 together as if it were just one sample. They sound like this. What I want you guys to realize is that they're all not quantized and on grid. With boom bap, it's very important that you give your drums some swing. So we've broken down the most essential elements, which is the kick and snare / clap. Let's go ahead and listen to what we have so far. With the essential layers out the way, we can now move on to the secondary elements that give this drum loop some extra spice. First of which is this shaker. Super basic. In order to give this drum loop some extra movement, I added in this ride cymbal. Next up, to give my drum loop some stereo width, as opposed to using FX plugins, I instead found a wide clap sample. Next up, we have the shaker loop, which is doing 2 things. 1, it's adding movement, and 2, it's providing some extra grit and texture to the drum loop. It sounds like this. And now to make my drum loop feel a little bit less like a drum loop, I added this softer snare sample to give the loop some extra rhythm. I want you guys to keep in mind that so far, every layer has had a purpose. So for you guys to be able to apply it to your own production, make sure that before you add a layer, you know exactly why you want to add it in. Now the percussion in the original drum loop was solid, but with all the additional layers, it kind of got lost in the mix. So I decided to add this very simple hi-hat to enhance what was already in the drum loop. You don't have to go overboard when you're layering. Sometimes keeping it simple can give you big results. Now finally, in order to separate hook and verse sections, I decided to add this crash. And at the end of 8 bars, it's the same crash, but in reverse. And that's how you do it. That's how you completely elevate a boring drum loop into something more dynamic and unique. Now let's go ahead and hear the final product in action. I chopped up a sample and added it in. Let's take a listen. And there you go. Although it's only an 8-bar beat, with all the additional layers, if I wanted to arrange this idea into a full-on beat, I would be able to take any of my layers out in order to make my drums more dynamic as the beat goes on. Now, you should be able to completely transform your drum loops. With drums out the way, you'll now need a solid bass line. If you want your bass lines to be more catchy but simple, make sure to click the link above. With that being said, if you gained any type of insight from this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment. It's really gonna help the channel grow. I'm gonna catch you guys next week for a new video. Until then, stay blessed.